Game of Thrones got to the overly intimate familial relations right in the first episode. This one took 4. That's restraint. House of the Dragon, episode 4. Still liking it. Still liking this show. This one, it's interesting. It really zeroes in and focuses in on the contrast and the combat and the conflict between what people in power want and what they can or should have. And it's played out in a multitude of ways. Obviously, there is Daemon, who, despite all his protestations, clearly wants the throne. And his nearly successful seduction, well, no, actually successful seduction, he just lost his nerve, to try and get with his niece, that would get him what he wants. As far as Rhaena goes, she's cooped up. She feels trapped by her position, and it's not a huge leap, especially for a family that has, for a very long time, at the very least, been all right with that kind of family connection. Being willing to open herself up to the guy who showed her what's beyond her grasp. Yeah, I buy that. And then in terms of that kind of conflict between what is wanted and what is necessary, really comes to a head with our current king. So he's got a lot at play. He is trying to instill to his daughter, like, you have to find someone to marry, because you not being married is continuing to be a thorn in my side, because it continues to bring into question the succession. And I've tried to work with you on this, but at this point, I'm just going to pick a husband for you. I tried to let you do this on your own, and you're not working with me. But more to the point, I think what happens with him and the hand. So I like how this is played, because the whole thing with the Hand of the King is he brings to the king's attention the whole thing that went on with Daemon and with his daughter. And obviously she contests that. But regardless, him having to bring that to the king, because, like, if he found that out, he does have to bring it to the king. That's kind of a huge deal. But at the same time, the very fact that he found that out brings a lot of questions about him. Was somebody following the princess on his orders? How extensive is this spy network? What else is he aware of? What else does he know? What leverage does he hold? And I really get the sense of conflict from Viserys, from the king, that he wants to be able to still trust this guy. But even if he believes that this man is going to continue to try and act in the best interest of his position, in the best interest of the king, the simple truth is that their needs, their desires are not aligned anymore. Their political realities are in inherent conflict, because the king wants his daughter to take the throne, and the Hand of the King is the father of his queen. So his interests are completely contradictory to that plan. And even if he never intends to go against his king in any meaningful way, every action he takes, the king cannot help but second guess because of that political reality. So even if the guy was going to be absolutely loyal and never let this conflict of interest sway his advice or anything like that, it wouldn't matter, because the king can't trust his answers. So again, seeing that conflict and seeing so much of this rooted in the politics. Oh, I've missed Westeros politics. And that mess, the mess of trying to balance allegiances and trying to satisfy certain people's ambitions just enough so that they don't act against you, but not so much that you are giving them more power than you are prepared to deal with them having. It's a really messy game these people play, and that feeling of messiness and the sense that there is no clean, perfect way to rule. Somebody's going to get ticked off. Somebody's going to have a desire to betray you. Somebody's needs aren't going to be met and you can no longer trust them. Somebody whose needs you do meet, maybe you will still not be able to trust them either now or down the line. It's an absolute mess, and it's portrayed that way here, which just makes me happy. I'm just really happy to see it. Weird side note. Matt Smith looks so much younger once they put him in the short hair again. I don't know why, but like, it was like he instantly lost at least 5 years. Which, given that this thing is continuing to leap forward in time, is a little odd. But, yeah. The time jump on this was a smaller one, so I didn't have the same kind of issues I had last time. Oh, in regards to the time jump, because, I had a fair number of comments going, well, there have to be time jumps because of the nature of the story, and we're moving between the key moments. Like, no, I get why they're there. I'm not disputing why they are being used. I am pointing out the fact that using them at all, especially in a medium like television, as opposed to something that is more structured as a history, it brings with it certain narrative issues that are inherent to doing this. I understand why they're there. I understand it might even be the best option for telling this story. That doesn't mean it's perfect. Sometimes your best option still has problems. So I'm not saying the time jump shouldn't be there. I'm saying they bring issues, because they do. I don't know what you want from me. Performances are still good. Still solid across the board. There is... a lot of these actors are really good at having almost unreadable expressions. Like, boy, you could be thinking something really nasty, or you could just be stoic while you try and do the best thing. And I'm having a hard time telling... and it makes me intrigued, is a vibe that I get from a lot of these characters. And I just enjoy that. That's a perfect way to play the characters in this setting with this kind of story. Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. Honestly, the less action there is, the less dragon stuff, the less violence and gore. Not that, like, that stuff is a turnoff for me necessarily, but, like, this. And, like, just seeing how things, even when you try to make it better, like, what happens between the princess and the queen, and how they try and they even start to reconcile, but then, much like with the king and the hand, their interests are not completely aligned. They are, in fact, in inherent conflict. And that is going to cause problems. But I still like that they have that moment after the princess has been gone for a while. And so you get that sense that absence made the heart grow fonder, that they realized not being around each other, they got to miss each other finally. But then, word of what the princess and Damon got up to meets the queen, and the princess lies about it. Pretty convincingly, I might add, which is a new wrinkle. She's a liar. And that is a new wrinkle because up to this point, she has been brutally honest to a fault. Like, it's probably caused some of the issues that have gone on, like, especially when it came to things like her suitors. Oh, tiny note. Like, this is really small. I kind of love that when a fight broke out between, like, this really young suitor and, like, some jackass, like, in his 20s or 30s or something, the kid wins. The kid kills the other guy. It's not lingered on, but I love that. I'm like, oh, I wouldn't have called that. What's more, the kid doesn't look like a badass. Like, you've got this shot of this guy bleeding on the floor, and the kid's there holding a sword, and he looks like he's about to throw up. It's just not what I was expecting. when a fight breaks out between a much bigger guy who seems much more confident and this kid who seems very awkward and unsure of himself, but the kid wins. Does he win because he is better trained? Did he win because the other guy just flat out sucks at everything and he was just a blowhard? Did the kid win because he got lucky? I don't know, but it was a cool little moment. Probably will not come back in any meaningful way, although if that kid comes back like next jump forward, I'd be down for that. But just that moment, I liked, even if it remains just a moment, just a little bit of flavor that we get just a quick glimpse of, and then the princess is gone. I still liked it. Probably more than it makes sense to. I really liked that moment though, for some reason. So yeah, I think that's probably about all I've got to say on this one. I'm really, not only am I enjoying the show, I'm just settling into it. Just, it feels good to like this world again. I didn't think I could anymore. So this is nice. What'd you think of this 4th episode? Whatever your thoughts are, drop something down in the comments. Let's talk about it. Patreon's what pays the bills, keeps everything up and running. Even if you can't like, share, and subscribe, help me out. But even if you're unable to do any of that for some reason, I mean, just go ahead and hit the like. It's right there. But don't worry too much about it. We take a relaxed attitude around here, so you can come on back next time you need a break. Time to give my thanks to my highest supporting patrons. That would include Robin Moore, Zubin Lutfullah, Tarak, the thing that goes doink in the anime, Oliver B., Melinda Walters, Emu Delkey, Theotha Boyd, Becky Sparks, Fernabi Likes the Poodle, Zach, Idolin, Tracy Scrabbit, Angry Casperl, Adam RDL Taylor, Shane Ross, Shaylee Gourlay, Brendan LaRose, and TT. If you want your name said while these guys try and distract me, consider looking at the rewards on my Patreon.